So, Sean, on today's expose, we are talking about Ms. Betsy Braddock. Elizabeth Betsy Braddock. Also known as Psylocke. Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh my goodness.
She was created by Chris Claremont and Herb Trimp, the artist. And she debuted as herself in December 1976 in Captain Britain, then as Captain Britain in January 1986, and then as Psylocke in October 1986. Wow.
Wow.
She's got powers of telekinesis, telepathy, precognition. She's an expert martial artist, and she can make psionic weapons with her psionic energy, with her weapon of choice being that blade. That purple blade. She's got purple hair, too. And she's got a crazy little backstory, which Sean can go over more because he knows it better than me.
Okay. So yeah, this lady has been through it. She's been on a ride. So she, like you said, she debuted as Captain Britain's like little sister, like background. And then as Captain Britain kind of like wrapped, she became more of her own character, joined X-Men, but in the Mutant Massacre, she was basically like left for dead by Sabretooth. Like he like mortally wounded her, and the X-Men barely got her out alive. After that, she like got her eyes taken out by Mojo and like got computer eyes put in so that you could record anything she saw. I'm telling you, this lady. And then when she was killed, eventually, she woke up in another body, in the body of Quanon, which, I mean, by today's standards, a little like, should we have done that? Should a white lady wake up in an Asian lady's body? I don't know. And then she's basically left for dead again later on by Sabretooth. He actually does kill her. So there's this whole rivalry between the two. And then she comes back through X-Men ways. So now her and Sabretooth are like mortal enemies. She's eventually pulled out of Quanon's body, and she's back in her own body. Now she's Captain Britain, and happy ending to the whole story. She's a big old bisexual now because she's with Rachel Summers. Yay, queerness! So that's a really quick little look at the rough life of Psylocke. But I've always loved her as a character. She's such a badass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I go where I wanna go. Jean.
Scott.
Jean?
Scott. I summon the Arctic winds.
No more mutants!
I summon the Arctic winds.
No more mutants!
I summon the Arctic winds.
No more mutants! There's always more gators in the bayou.
Don't get a
Welcome to this week's Solving for X. My name is Sean. I'm the ultimate excavationist.
And I'm something of an X-fan myself, Kevin.
And we're super excited for our next guest. We have Ian with us. How are you, sir?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you. And what's your relationship with X-Men?
X-Men is like one of my favorite things. Specifically this cartoon. X-Men was the first thing that got me into comics. I didn't know it was a comic book. I just loved the arcade game when I would go to the boardwalk down the shore. And I thought it was, just a random game. They had those all the time where it could be a superhero or whatever, but it didn't mean it was like part of something. And then I at Suncoast Video found a VHS of the Pride of the X-Men tape. And I was like, oh, this is what that video game is based on. And then realized it was a comic book. And I genuinely, my first X-Men comic was Jim Lee's X-Men #1. And yeah, then I fell in love with X-Men, and then that led me to Buffy. And I feel like those are my two favorite things in fiction is Buffy and X-Men.
Nice. And you have a Scream mask behind you, which is amazing.
Oh yeah, you love Scream too. Yes.
Do you have your favorite X-Men character?
Jubilee.
Wow.
Ooh. On this
Why
show,
Jubilee?
we say Jubilee because of Storm.
Jubilee.
Because I was like a little bit. I was younger than Jubilee, but she was the one I related to as a kid when I watched. Like I was like, oh, I want to be her. I want to like be the cool kid that gets to hang out with the X-Men and like there's no other annoying kids there, but everyone's like a cool adult and treats you like an adult. I like wanted that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, our previously on question is going to be fun having you here today since you're a Jubilee stan. So I'm excited to get to that.
Even though rudely she's not even in this episode.
I know.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So our previously on question, in the first episode of Beyond Good and Evil, Professor X like stops Jubilee. She wants to help, and he's like, "No, bitch, you need to clear out these wedding guests." So our question is, what did Jubilee do to clear out the wedding guests? Do you have any thoughts on this, Ian?
Oh God. I feel like she would have like set off some fireworks as if they were going off accidentally.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said she did that and then said, "Look over there."
So actually, we also had a write-in. Kayla Faye 35 also said fireworks. Christy Prey Hall, friend of the pod, said Sentinel showed up to capture her and all the guests ran away. We had another pervert like me, Albert Dreaming, said farted during a lull. Puyov said, forget about the Bear Daddy and Muscle Hunk are most hot. How did you draw them? So I guess we didn't get an answer from him. My answer was she played X-Men Apocalypse, the movie. Alan, my co-host on Marvelous Galaxy of Disney, said that she turned into a vampire. But I think my favorite answer is Robbie Clark 87 said that she sang a personalized rendition of Firework by Katy Perry.
That's amazing. Yes.
Yes. So thank you for everybody who wrote in. We got some fun answers there. I always like to see what our little creative minds can come up with.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to mention from our last episode is I did look up Steve Umiet is his name. He's the one who does Bender's voice. He does a ton of cartoon voices, including Beetlejuice.
Oh, from that 90s animated series of Beetlejuice. Oh,
yeah. That's what he's most known for. So when I was watching through part 2, I was like, oh my gosh, I totally hear the Beetlejuice in this voice. So I just thought that was a fun fact.
Neat.
Wait, he's Bender and Beetlejuice, but who is he on X-Men?
I mean, he's Bender in X-Men, the character of Bender.
Not Bender Futurama, Bender.
Yeah.
Wait, who the hell is Bender in X-Men?
Oh, yeah, we didn't get Bender in this episode either. He was only in part 1.
Yeah. He's like in the time.
Oh, is he the like goofy little like dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That guy's not actually in the comics, right?
No.
Or is he?
No, he's not.
Okay.
Made for the show.
Yeah.
I remember that like driving me nuts as a kid because there's him, and then there's that like weird sun dude that they go to that town, and I remember like as a kid I was like, oh, it's Fabian Cortez, that's who that's supposed to be. But then we see Fabian Cortez later in the cartoon, so it's not him and he's just made up for the cartoon.
Yeah.
He's in the comics, he's just a very like not used character. Like I didn't even recognize him either, and I've read all these comics.
I looked it up online and it was like, oh, that character is made up. Like, you know, it's like they go to that town and there's like that guy that kind of looks like Fabian. He has like the long hair. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like the long red hair. Oh, you know what? They changed his name. His name isn't whatever Braddock in the cartoon. That's why, I think. So they did kind of like do amalgamation of him. Cool. So this episode, as you all know, Sexy Exies, it's been a while because of the whole strike. We wanted to respect everybody striking. So I just thought we'd do a quick little, what was episode 1 about, since it came out probably so long ago at this point. So real quick before we get into what episode 1 was about, listeners, is I wanted to just say that we did record this towards the beginning of the strike. We're just choosing not to put it out until the strike is over. So if anything negative came out of the strike, we won't be talking about it here because we don't know about it at this time. So just a little disclaimer.
We're from the past.
We're from the past, talking in your ears in the present. So episode 1, we saw Jean and Scott get married. Their wedding is broken up by the Nasty Boys, and Mr. Sinister attempts to kidnap Professor X. Jean is kidnapped by the Nasty Boys, and
Cyclops is left.
And Cyclops is left. And we find out at the end that Apocalypse is pulling all the strings. He has this big plan in motion, which was crazy. So that gets us to part 2.
Cool.
All right. So this episode is Beyond Good and Evil, The Promise of Apocalypse. This aired November 11th, 1995. Written by Jan Strand. Directed by Larry Houston, as always. All right. Take us away with scene 1, sir.
Okay, scene 1. Meanwhile, it feels like weird, but I guess it's continuing. Okay.
Yeah.
At the Shi'ar Imperial Palace, the palace is attacked by renegade ships. The Shi'ar do their best to stave off the attack, but they are easily dispatched. We see that Deathbird, that bitch sister to Lilandra, is leading the attack. In her chamber, Lilandra and Oracle prepare for invasion. Gladiator comes to the rescue. As Gladiator dispatches Deathbird, Apocalypse appears from a portal and grabs Lilandra as per promise. She's like, I won't touch her, but I'm not going to guarantee that he won't. And she's all like, kill her, eliminate her now. I'm like, okay. Easy, like, calm your tits a little bit, but it's fine. But Apocalypse isn't there for Lilandra. He takes Oracle instead, and Deathbird is like, what? Not her!
She's so mad.
Yeah. And the Deathbird is taken captive by Gladiator, and she's like, yeah, you're not going to be queen.
Yeah. So how do we feel about this? Because Lilandra is also a psychic, so it's kind of like he pushed her aside and took Oracle instead. So fuck your drag, Lilandra.
I don't know. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
You know, in my brain, this was the opening scene of this whole like crossover, because I don't know why, but this I remembered so well from watching it like as a kid, because I remember being like, oh my god, even the Shi'ar are like being impacted by whatever the hell is going on. So you knew it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Because I don't think like we had gone back to them in a while at this point, or I don't know. But I just remember being like, oh my god, they got the one telepath from the Imperial Guard. And I always loved Deathbird. So that made me happy to see her. And also, I don't know if you all noticed, like, at the end of the scene is that, like, gif that used to always go around of, like, Deathbird trying to grab Lilandra and Gladiator pulling her back. There was a lot of, like, gif meme moments that I'm like, oh, right, I see this all the time.
Like flashback. Oh, yes, this is familiar.
Yeah. And I went back and checked. We did do a cameo on Deathbird before, so she doesn't get a second one now. We talked about her in Orphan's End.
Aha.
So in scene 2, we are back at the manor. Scott is picking his brain to figure out why Jean was taken and not him. Xavier comes to comfort Scott, but he suddenly gets a psychic warning from Lilandra. She tells him about Apocalypse taking Oracle. Xavier tells Scott to assemble the X-Men.
Wow. So I like that you pointed out, Ian, like, this is a big deal, like, because we already have Sinister and the Nasty Boys. We already have the Shi'ar now. This is all Apocalypse. Like, they're really pulling from every inch of the animated series. So this is why I love these.
Everything that's been touched, everything the series touches is in this episode.
Thank you, Mufasa. All right. Meanwhile, in the Axis of Time, Mr. Sinister is seen walking into the Axis Center. It is revealed that Jean is being held captive here. Sinister tells Jean that Apocalypse is giving him the gift of creating a new breed. So basically, like, he gets to create whatever humanity he wants, or mutanity, or whatever he wants to do, which to me is very similar to what's kind of just went on now in Sins of Sinister. We saw what would happen in the comic books if Sinister had like carte blanche to do whatever he wanted, and it's not great. It doesn't end well. Spoiler alert. And from the Axis of Time, he can manage the experiment from anywhere. Enter Apocalypse. He throws Oracle into a cell and begins his tale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
All right. Apocalypse was attempting time travel, but as fate would have it, he was sent to the axis of time. He's like, oh, yes, it's this place where I saw that crazy dude, Bender. I don't know. And centuries have passed here as Apocalypse has uncovered the secrets of the axis. I know all of its tricks and powers. The powers of the axis, yeah. Preparing his plan. While Apocalypse is gloating, we see not far off Bishop is slowly walking towards the Axis Center. So it's like, oh, worlds collide. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's taking his damn time to get there.
We got Back at the Manor again.
Yeah.
Back at the Manor.
Back at the Manor, Xavier is briefing his team. The X-Men put together that Sinister and Apocalypse are working together. They also realize that Apocalypse seems to be attacking and capturing psychics. Cyclops wants to scout out other psychics and watch them just in case they're attacked. Storm doesn't like the plan. She feels they are using psychics as bait. Xavier tells her it is necessary to safeguard reality.
So, how do we feel about this? Is Storm's concern right? Like, are they just using people as bait? Or are we on Cyclops' side?
Well, it's, it is kind of stupid and it's kind of bad, but it's also at the same time it's what Charm does. Gideon's like, the greater good. Like, is the whole world gonna be destroyed if you don't find a way to get that connection and find the trap and follow them? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm rarely on Cyclops' side, usually on Storm's side. But, I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's like the plan, as a kid, this was a big deal. And I loved this crossover. And I feel like, I meant to look this up, but did it happen at the same time as Apocalypse and the 12, that, crossover? Or was it a little before that or after that? I don't know if you guys know.
Oh, I remember that. Apocalypse and the 12. I think that was after this episode.
Because I remember thinking that's I feel like I relate those two stories because there's not really a one-for-one in the comics for this story, right?
Right.
So I feel like this is and I like that story. I know a lot of people, I feel like it gets pushed under the rug because it didn't actually matter in the long run. But I really liked that story, and I do like this, but watching it back as an adult, which I did when they first put this up on Disney Plus, it's oh, okay, this is a cartoon. And it's the plot isn't fully there, so I don't know if I can even say I disagree or agree with either of them, because it's we've only gotten one episode so far. We don't know if they were going to kill the psychics, then yeah, that's bad, but we don't know.
True. What's the extent?
Yeah.
Right. So you just took me back because I totally forgot about Apocalypse the 12 until you mentioned it. But it says here it took place in 2000. So it took place 4 years after.
Okay.
And it seems like when I think about it, it probably was inspired by these episodes, just like One Man's Worth inspired.
The show and the comics are all intertwined. They all inspire each other.
I mean, I only recently learned that Batman the Animated Series is the reason Mr. Freeze has the story he has. That wasn't his story before it was his story in the animated series.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because he was always more of a comical villain in the old Adam West show, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I feel like they all kind of were, though, right?
They all were.
No one was serious.
Mm-hmm.
It was a different vibe, different energy.
Yeah. All right. Elsewhere, at Castle Worthington in England, a sexy ninja lady with purple hair, or raven hair, I should say, is traversing the cliffside towards the castle. She uses a psychic knife to easily dispatch a doggy. From his castle, Archangel sees what's going down. As the sexy ninja lady is robbing him, Warren jokes around with her. The two begin battling. The ninja rips off her clothes, revealing that she's Psylocke. It's Psylocke. Who would have thought?
I geeked out because I was not expecting her. I didn't know. Because yeah, I'm watching these all for the first time in 20 years, so I don't remember anything. And so I was like, "Who's this ninja?" And then I saw the blade. I'm like, "Oh!" I screamed out loud. I was so excited. So it was very exciting.
When you told me it was this part, I was like, I hope it's the part with Psylocke, and then it was the part with Psylocke.
Yeah.
Because if I recall, she doesn't really do much else, right? She just is captured.
Yeah, that's about it. And it's funny because when I think back to Beyond Good and Evil, much like you, I think of this as the opening. I thought this opened the whole thing. So realizing it's in episode 2, I was like, there goes my memory.
All right, so Psylocke makes a run for it, leaving Warren wondering what she looks like under the mask. I'm like, am I gonna fuck you with the mask on or without the mask on?
Right, basically.
Oh, smitten little angel. Psylocke reaches the cliff face and falters, giving Archangel the chance to catch up to her. In a desperate attempt, Psylocke jumps from the cliff, but she misunderestimates the rocks below. Archangel grabs her, not by the pussy yet, but maybe in the future sometime, saving her from a big ouchie. They fly off towards the castle. Archangel and Psylocke land on the castle roof. Psylocke thanks Archangel. Yeah, she's like, you're safe now, woman. And she's like, oh, thank you, my hero. She stabs him in the back with a psychic knife, incapacitating him. Sorry, that was loud. I get energetic.
That was very loud.
That was very loud.
I'm a horror movie. It's fine.
So yeah, the psychic knife, it just like it sounds like, it doesn't actually stab or hurt people, but it makes their mind go all fuzzy. So luckily she didn't hurt the doggy, our Warren.
I bet you it's tingly though. I bet you're like, ugh.
I don't really remember in the cartoon. I know Warren pops up a lot, but I don't remember where we had left him off in the cartoon before this.
Oh yeah.
Is he kind of a friend of the X-Men, or is he still he kind of hates them? He kind of hated them.
Yeah. The last time we saw him was in Obsession, and that's when Apocalypse shapeshifts into somebody and is like, the only way to kill Apocalypse is by stabbing him in the back of the neck.
Oh yeah.
And Warren's like, oh cool, I'll go on this dramatic journey to kill Apocalypse. But it turns out Apocalypse was just trying to draw Warren out by lying to him. And in that one we see mostly Rogue comes to help him. So they're friends. He kind of sees what he's become and kind of sees that he's obsessed. So we leave him in a somewhat okay place. Okay. So it explains it.
Yeah.
I also like that this is kind of I feel maybe, I'm just assuming, but I feel pairing them together in this episode was a nod to them dating.
Yeah, being in a couple. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love them together so much.
That's all the little flirtations and the little winks. Yeah.
Yeah. I also have a statue of Archangel in this outfit.
I saw it. I got to sleep in that room. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. You touched it, didn't you? You touched it inappropriately.
Maybe a little.
That's all right. I do too.
Meanwhile, also in London, Wolverine and Shard are on the hunt for psychics. Shard thinks that perhaps Cerebro messed up, but Wolverine knows they're in the right place.
Oh yeah, I have a very weird way of writing, so thank you for correcting it.
I just want to point out, I love Shard. I always loved her in the cartoon. I remember being so excited when they put out a figure of her. And it's weird the way they use her and Bishop in this cartoon, but I do really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
I don't know. It's because they pop up so often, and when they pop up, the cartoon, it always had confidence in the audience. It doesn't have to give you a long, this is Bishop's sister. They are it's just oh yeah, you know who they are, because they're they've become such reoccurring characters. And I don't know. I liked that it was a brother and sister. As a kid especially, I think because I wanted so many characters to be gay, I appreciated when there was a girl and a guy and it wasn't a romance dynamic. I always really liked that. So I liked that they were like a brother and sister superhero duo. Like I thought that was like cool. And the Terminator aspect of like the time traveling to stop the terrible apocalypse from coming. I just always liked that shit. And it's like, it's weird to be like, oh, I associate time travel with the X-Men because like none of the main members that's like, but like there's so much time travel in the X-Men that I do associate it with the X-Men. So I don't know. I like that we have, this cartoon does such a good job of building the universe so that we can have characters like this that, you know, they're not in every episode. They're not, but they do pop up a lot, but they're not in that many episodes, like overall. But like it has confidence that you know who they are and you remember who they are. And like, they're cool with everyone. We're cool. Like, just keep it moving. Like, I don't know. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's true. Because even in episode 1, they were kind of like, we don't know who you are, but you seem trustworthy, Shard. And she's like, well, I am.
Yeah.
I forget. How does she... Did we already get, like, what happened to her and Bishop and why Bishop split up? Why they're split up? Or do we not know how that happened?
We know that Bishop was knocked off course by Apocalypse when he was trying to come back from One Man's Worth. But Shard doesn't know what happened to Bishop. She went back to the past to look for him.
Okay.
And it's funny because our guest on episode 1, Ryan Yorio, also pointed out how much he loves Shard. So that's 2 for 2 for our guest for Beyond Good and Evil.
Listen, I was very proud of I made a like custom Shard figure from my Marvel Legends for when I covered One Man's Worth on my podcast. Because I was like, wait, I love Shard. I want to make a figure of her like so badly.
Nice.
Cool.
Back at Worthington Castle, Archangel sexually wakes up. He was laying like all like sprawled out, and I was like, I want to ride that. He pledges it be the last time he saves a falling ninja. He wakes up just in time to see Psylocke loading up his Jeep with his stolen items. He follows her.
She ran.
Yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong here, Ian, because you seem like you pretty knowledgeable about X-Men, but do you remember Psylocke as ever being like a thief? Because I was thinking about it. She's always been a ninja character, but I don't know about a thief.
So I don't, but it's possible that I just don't know. But I actually did put in my notes, I really kind of love the rewrite of Psylocke as like a Catwoman type character. Like I think that does fit her.
Yeah. And I like the reason they give her. I guess it's jumping ahead a little, but they kind of say that she is mad at Warren for like wanting to be human and not putting any funds towards helping mutants. So that's interesting too. She's like a good thief.
Because she's like,
eat the rich, motherfucker.
Yeah. You're wealthy. You have power. Why aren't you doing anything to help, your kind? Yeah. So a lot of this is in spite. She's like, I can, at least sell some of this stuff and make some money to help people. All right, Wolverine and Shard are still on the lookout. They see a Jeep. Oh, a Jeep. I wonder if that sounds familiar. Getting away and are suspicious of it. Wolverine goes to get a closer look. Shard sees Archangel and recognizes him. She's like, that's Archangel. I know you. You're an X-Men. But are you an X-Men yet? What past is this? Let me figure this out again. She reports back to Xavier. Back at the manor, Xavier is worried about why Archangel would be involved. He sends Storm and Gambit to check on the situation.
Oof. So is the Storm and Gambit, I'm assuming that's like the next episode's thing?
They kind of tell us a little bit more in this episode. I don't think they focus on them too much in the next episode. I don't remember, though. It's been a while for me, too.
Because, I even rewatching this, I was surprised how long. Because I remember as a kid, they showed Psylocke in the preview for the episode. I remember being so excited that we were getting Psylocke. And I feel like I still see people make figures and, like, art of her with the mask. And it's she only does that in this with that outfit. But I just remember being so excited about that. And in my brain, it was a lot shorter, but it is like basically the whole episode is her.
Yeah, it's a big chunk.
Which also feels like a choice, and a choice I appreciate, but like a choice to be like, this character that has not been in the cartoon at all is going to be the main. You know what I mean? It almost would have made more sense to focus on Oracle and Lilandra because we know those characters. But I appreciate that we focus on Psylocke and we get this one episode with her.
Yeah.
You definitely.
And I kind of put this in Kevin's mind, so I'll address a little bit now. But we talked in episode 1 that the original draft of this was going to see 5 X-Men leave the team and 4 X-Men come onto the team. Psylocke was going to be one of the ones who came onto the team. So that may be a hint as to why they gave her so much screen time. But it's also kind of funny, though, because the series was going to end anyway. So she was going to basically join the team, and then it was just going to end at that point. So it's interesting, their choice. But I love it because I love Psylocke. So I'd rather have just one episode focus on her than not get her at all.
Right.
Yeah, same. All right. Back in London, Archangel drops down into the storage area Psylocke has driven into. He confronts Psylocke about her thievery. Psylocke accuses Archangel of squandering his wealth on hunting Apocalypse rather than helping mutants. Psylocke gets angry and springs her attack. Just then, razor-sharp claws rip at the garage door behind them. It's Sabretooth and Mystique, who are definitely still in the series, despite what Sean said in Bloodlines. Enter Wolverine. He takes down Sabretooth as Shard takes down Mystique.
Yeah, so I found this really weird note in Bloodlines, and I didn't look into it or think about it when I read it. It said that that was their last episode, but I was like, but he's in Beyond Good and Evil. Like, if I just thought of it, because I remember this scene.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But I love that he's like, what is it? Archangel's like, Wolverine? And Sabretooth's just like, nah, it's me.
It's me.
It's like, you wish.
So we have a quick little sort of cameo because we don't see the character, but Betsy mentions her brother.
Come out, wherever you are.
Don't worry about us, Dingo. We'll make sure we can.
Cameo.
Captain Britain.
Yay. Yeah.
Are they twins?
I believe
sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Yeah, they're twins.
Okay.
Yeah, he's slightly older than her. Like, he came out first, though.
Okay.
Yeah. So he first showed up in the comics in Captain Britain #1 in October 1976. His name is Brian Braddock, and he's actually as powerful as Psylocke and her oldest brother Jamie are as mutants. He's actually not a mutant at all. Brian skipped the whole mutant thing. So he gets his powers through the suit that he's wearing, and he's like part of this whole network of captains across the multiverse. So we get a lot of like multiversal adventures with the Captain Britain Corps, and Betsy actually took over the job from him just recently in the Krakoa era of the comics. One thing that's kind of fun about Captain Britain that I just learned not too long ago is he was actually supposed to be in the MCU. He was supposed to make an appearance in Civil War, played by Jason Statham.
Oh.
And Jason laughed at them and said, "I'm too old for this shit." That's my horrible Jason Statham impression. So without him wanting to do the role, they basically just wrote him out of the movie.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I know Sean and I were talking about this a little bit before we started recording, but do you have any explanation as to why Psylocke does not speak with a British accent if she's British?
I feel like they try to give her some kind of accent. I just don't know what it is because she speaks very properly.
Sophisticated American.
She doesn't use like conjunctions. She's like, will not, do not.
Yeah.
But they're all Canadian, so maybe that's like a Canadian version of a British accent. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. I did love seeing, I feel like this was another nod in seeing Sabretooth and Psylocke fight. I mean, at this point in the comics, he hadn't like straight up killed her yet, but they already did have a rivalry. So I think this is a fun way to kind of show that in the show. Also, I counted a 90s moment here, Kevin.
Don't have man.
You got mail. 90s moments.
90s moment.
90s moment. When I think it was Wolverine, he says, "What are you gonna do? Eat your spinach?" Because Popeye was such a 90s thing.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of weird dialogue in this, and I think that's where I started realizing it. Because the one where like Sabretooth is like, "I want to figure out what you had for breakfast." Like, okay, it's been gross but weird. Also,
yeah, that is gross.
Yeah.
It like almost sounds like a sexual innuendo, but it like isn't a cute one if it is one.
No.
Right. All right. The battle rages on. Mystique does shape-shifty shenanigans, but Psylocke is psychic and Wolverine has a nose that smells. They easily find the real Slim Mystique. The battle ends as Psylocke is like, "Fuck you guys, I'm leaving." She goes to exit when a voice is heard off-screen offering help. It's Magneto! He offers to help Psylocke. She attacks everyone. She's no match for Magneto, though. Wolverine throws himself at Magneto, knocking them both into the river.
Everybody's here. Everybody's showing up.
It really is like a clown car of supervillains just like coming out of the woodwork.
Were you surprised to see Magneto, and did you trust him?
I was surprised, and I did not trust him.
Good boy.
I'm like this is totally like another string being pulled by Apocalypse. He's getting all the villains from the past, and he's like, go get him, because we want to see like the team of villains show up now.
Yeah.
All right. As the water rolls, a nearby ship, the U.S. Tin Man. Is that supposed to mean something? I mean,
I think it was just to show that it's completely made of metal and it's cute. Like, let's name it after Oz.
I thought it was based off of all the Tin Man references that Wolverine always makes. Like all the time.
Yeah.
But the U.S. Tin Man throws its anchor. It pulls Wolverine out of the water and then snares him. Magneto lifts the ship and drops it on the storehouse. He comes back and opens a portal that he pulls Psylocke into. Rude. Mystique and Sabretooth jump into the portal after him. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Storm and Gambit show up just in time to not help at all. Shard tells them Wolverine is stuck in the rubble. Storm calls on a whirlwind to clear the rubble and locate Wolverine. Gambit runs over to help free Wolverine. The X-Team see an unconscious Sabretooth and Archangel. They come over to tend to them.
Yay. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah. I was watching this on my lunch break today. And people kept passing by me and talking to me, and I totally missed the really quick moment where Psylocke got sucked into the portal, and I just saw Storm going, "Whirlwind!" I'm like, what? I missed something. Where'd they go? So, I mean, I guess that they're finding Wolverine like stuck on. It's kind of in a very compromising position, actually. I don't know.
Stop it. All right, back at the Axis of Time, Mystique thanks Magneto for saving their asses. We see that there are already 5 psychics captured, but many more to go. Magneto tells Mystique... Okay, I have to share this real quick. I just got sent by Chris over the weekend. I don't remember the name, but it's on TikTok. And this Hispanic guy goes to Hispanic guy friends, and he has them all like read... X-Men names.
Oh.
So whenever they say Mystique, they pronounce it Misty Cake.
Oh, I like that though. That's really cute.
Yeah.
Wait, this isn't the same video where they're like pretending they're like doing low budget X-Men outfits, is it?
No, there wasn't
Magneto?
outfits. Mm-mm.
Okay.
But it sounds similar. My favorite was Whoa Whoa Bean.
What's that one?
Wolverine, Whoa Whoa Bean. For Gambit, one of them said Gumby.
Okay.
But anyway, I always see Misty Cake now whenever I see
Misty Cake. I want a Misty Cake. That sounds delicious.
It sounds delicious. So Magneto tells Misty Cake that Apocalypse saw the two failing and sent him. Misty Cake is sad that they lost Sabretooth, but Magneto don't care. Enter Apocalypse. he finds Magneto's coldness refreshing. It is revealed that Magneto's price to help Apocalypse is getting his wife back through resurrection. Whoa.
It's such a weird juxtaposition, though. He's like, I find your lack of sentiment refreshing, but you want to save your wife because you're such a sentimental person.
Yeah, I know. So, Kevin, do you remember what Mr. Sinister was promised?
Oh, God. Yes. So he could, like, make his genetic people, his race of people, and travel between all the times. And like, he's like, I can do an experiment and go to the future and see if it, like, pans out or not. If it doesn't, I can come back and change it. And so he gets his whole, experimentation.
I was going to be sad if you didn't remember because we just said it in this episode while we're recording. Good job.
Yeah. Oh, is it me?
Yeah.
Just then, a portal opens up. Oh, it's Mr. Sinister. How coincidence. And he has captured Game Master. Master Sinister. Oh, I say Master. Mr. Sinister tells Apocalypse that Game Master was being watched by Storm and Gambit, but then inexplicably left. Apocalypse realizes that Xavier seems to be on to him, but he doesn't care because Xavier is also one of the targets. He shall be my final collection piece into the, the display case.
Yes. So this is where we find out that the X-Men are stretched so thin that when Xavier called Gambit and Storm away to help the others, that he left Games Master as free to be captured, vulnerable. Do you remember Games Master? We talked about him too. He had a cameo.
Oh God, a cameo. Probably very brief and probably don't remember. I have no idea.
Yeah, he was very brief. He was watching TV when Cable was what episode was that? When Cable was on TV way back in season 2, Games Master was watching the broadcast. And what he was big for in the 90s is he was leading the externals. So he was the one who would he'd call the games for people to go target mutants. So Fabian Cortez was part of this. Sebastian Shaw, a lot of the villains were competing to see what high-profile mutants they could bring in, and they'd get points for taking out mutants. Mm-hmm. We also have 2 cameos right here.
Come out, wherever you are.
Don't worry about us, Dingo. We'll make sure we can.
Cameo.
So Games Master doesn't count because we used him, but if you saw, there was the green mushroom-headed looking guy in one of the tubes, and there was the Asian girl in the green outfit in one of these tubes. Would you like to know who these are?
Wait, call on me. I know at least one of them.
Yay!
Ian.
The green one is Karma, right?
Yes, that is Karma.
I'm not sure
Shan Koi Man. So she was popular for being part of the New Mutants in the 80s.
And coming out as a lesbian in the 2000s.
Ooh.
Exactly. All these gay people in this episode.
We're so queer in this podcast.
I always remember that once they get the full tubes, I remember pausing. I would record all this on VHS and pausing to see. And the only person I specifically remember is Moondragon. I know she's in there when they're got all the telepaths.
Yep, she comes in the next episode.
Okay, yeah.
Cameo, I know one.
So Karma first showed up in Marvel Team Up number 100. She was created by Chris Claremont and Mr. Frank Miller. And her ability is she basically possesses people. She could take over your body and control your body. It's always been an interesting power.
Yeah.
And she has telepathy. She has a psychic shield, mind control, sensory scrying, Kevin, scrying.
But which version?
Exactly. And then Mesmero, he's a very old X-Men villain. He first showed up in X-Men 49 in October of 1968, created by Arnold Drake, Don Heck, and Werner Roth. His powers are hypnotism and teleportation, if he's wearing a suit that lets him do it. So it's interesting because Karma and Mesmero aren't straight up psychics. So it seems like Apocalypse is going for very particular powers, maybe, and things that have to do with the mind, but aren't always necessarily psychic powers.
So that's why he left Lalandra. She wasn't specific enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You know what? That actually, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, why the hell wouldn't he have taken Lalandra too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's powerful enough to contact Xavier from space with her powers, so she's got to be somewhat powerful, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back in 3999 AD, Cable and Tyler are scaling a cliff. Cable tells Tyler that his plan was to destroy Apocalypse's Lazarus chamber, but now that Apocalypse has his time cube, it won't be so easy. Apocalypse can just traverse time and keep saving his chamber. Cable's plan is to break into the government-controlled time chamber and go back and destroy the Lazarus chamber at its origin, permanently stopping Apocalypse.
Ooh.
Oh, this is getting big.
Intense.
Yeah. So, Kevin, why don't you kick us off? What did you think about this episode?
Okay. I'm going to extreme it because lots of stuff's going down. This is a big epic 4-parter. It makes sense. I loved seeing the characters that we got to see. I even liked, the Cyclops moment where he's like questioning. Sorry, Ian, Cyclops is my favorite. But he's like, why didn't he take me? And so it was great, and I liked the villains are slowly. Are there going to be more villains? Like, are there any more that we? Oh, are they going to get Shadow King? That'd be cool, but it wouldn't make any sense. But it would be cool. But I don't know. I like this end scene too because I think it's what started us in the first episode is kind of like what ends us in this one, and how they're still trying to fight within their time. I like it.
Yeah, it's very similar to what they did in season 2 with the Savage Land, where we get like the main story and then get a peek back at something.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ian, what are your thoughts on the episode?
Yes, I would go with extreme. I guess that's the rating I would do. Yeah, I loved that Psylocke got this long episode. I even loved that Angel, it was her and Angel that got this. Even though we'd seen Angel before, I just liked seeing... I always liked when the cartoon brought in... clearly Psylocke and Angel aren't random characters, but I liked when they would bring in characters that weren't heavily featured in the cartoon to feature them for a one-off, whatever. Not that this is a one-off, this is a 4-part, but you know what I mean. I liked that the cartoon was willing to focus on other characters that weren't the main crew of the cartoon. So I always enjoyed that, and this crossover has so many cameos, and I loved the cameos. As a kid, I would always pause my every morning I had to get allergy shots because that comes with being a nerd. So every Saturday morning I had to get allergy shots, and I would miss the cartoon, so my dad would set up the VCR to tape it. So I had every episode on VHS, or most of them, and I would always pause them to see the cameos and big scenes, and this whole 4-parter is full of scenes to pause to look at characters. So yeah, I love this 4-parter.
I'm still waiting for Kang. Another 2 episodes left.
You only have 2 left to find Kang. But yeah, I would definitely extreme this. Just for Psylocke alone, this is, to me, the standout episode of the 4-parter because of the Psylocke Archangel moments. As you can see, I have them on my shoulder. I'm such a huge stan of this couple. So yeah, I love it. Who would you say, Kevin, is the MXP or most excellent player?
Well, I was tempted to say Lalandra because she's the one that reached out to Xavier and got this whole ballpark run-in. But wow. I'm going with Psylocke. It's very self-explanatory. It's the one. It's the one you got to go with.
Okay. How about you, Ian?
Yeah, so, I feel like we're going to have the same answer, but yeah, Psylocke. For sure. Hands down.
Yeah, I went with Archangel because I mean, it had to be one of the two, but the fact that he was so calm and like, whatever, it's just stuff. She's just stealing stuff. Like, who cares? And he's so calm. And
she's
he's so,
not
like,
that. She's not so bad. I love her.
Yeah. I like the way he handled it. He could have been a jerk like he usually is in the cartoon, but he wasn't. All right. And then, Kevin, so what is the X Factor? What is your favorite part or thing that ties it to the greater X universe?
I just think the stakes right now, everything is very like an 11, like a 10, like it's getting really intense and it's only going to get worse, I think. So, and I think that's very X-Men to just really drop all the hatches and just go for it. And this is where it is. This is supposed to be the big finale, and it's what it's doing its job.
Yeah. How about you, Ian?
Yeah, I feel like it's very epic. It makes it feel very epic. This might not be true. It feels like one of the first times when it's like connecting every single thing that we've seen, which like might be too many hats on the hat, but I love it. So I don't know, but I could see where someone would be like, oh, it's too much, but I love it.
That's true. I could see like if you've never watched the cartoon and this is your entry into it, it might be like, who the hell's that? Who's hell's that? But it's definitely rewarding if you watched it all. Yeah. For me, I said it's the relationship between Archangel and Psylocke. I've always been such a big stan for them. I mean, I do also like her with Rachel Summers, so I don't want to take away from that. But just seeing the rockiness of their relationship, I know I've mentioned this before, but when she was willing to become one of Archangel had turned into Apocalypse, and she was willing to become one of his 4 horsemen in order just to stay close to him, to have a chance to like help him come out of it. Like that just shows how much these characters love each other. So I love that we get something in the show to like show that, which we didn't get at all in X-Men Apocalypse. Yeah. I will always shit all over X-Men Apocalypse. It was so sad to me.
It's a terrible
all
movie.
The wasted character. It is.
People can shit on the earlier movies as much as they want, but they are so much better than the later movies. Those the younger class ones have like 0 charisma.
Mm-hmm. Good. I'm glad that you agree with me. And I don't even know which one I hate more, Apocalypse or Dark Phoenix, because I like wanted to like Apocalypse so much. I went home that night and downloaded a bootleg copy after I saw it in the theaters to watch it again, to be like, maybe I just judged it too harshly. And I was like, no, this is a terrible movie. But I've only seen Dark Phoenix once.
While they're both very bad, and I'm not here to defend Apocalypse, I think Dark Phoenix is worse. Only because it's like, I just don't understand how you can make it worse than X-Men The Last. Because X-Men The Last Stand, I just was defending the original, but X-Men The Last Stand is pretty much garbage. But like, at least it's like the cast we know and are fun to watch. The movie's bad. There's barely anything nice to say about it. But like the Dark Phoenix one is like so bad and devoid of anything fun. It's boring. We get that weird scene where like he lifts Xavier out of his wheelchair and like, it's like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
No one is powerful. I don't know. And everyone just dies. It's just like, well, everyone's dead. So that is my rant on those X-Men movies.
I mean, I will say, at least The Last Stand, I feel like starts off good until Jean comes back, and then the whole thing is derailed. But I feel like all of Dark Phoenix was already crashed and off the tracks. And
Last Stand, while I don't love the ending of it, it does have an action scene that I enjoy watching at like Jean Grey's like house. I do. Like, I think it's a cool action scene. Storm gets to do more than she was allowed to do in the previous movies. Again, the movie's still bad. I don't want anyone thinking this is me saying it's good. It's just that action scene is like fun to watch.
Yeah. I haven't watched those in so long. Any of them.
Don't. No.
I have them all on my shelf. I'm like, do I watch these? I don't know. But it's fine.
Well, for a previously on this week, I want to know, what would Mystique want in return for helping Apocalypse? Because I feel like Mystique, once again, like happens a lot in this series, kind of takes the back seat. I feel like she's only helping because Apocalypse is probably ordering her to, so we don't really get her backstory. But what do you think she would want if he offered her
I know.
What?
She wants Rogue to forget how much of a shitty mother she is.
Okay.
It's like, love me, Rogue.
Love me.
And don't talk to your brother Nightcrawler because I hate that stupid asshole.
Threw him down a waterfall and didn't even take.
Yeah. Too selfish to die. How about you, Ian? What are your thoughts?
I forget. Do they ever? Because she worked in like their Apocalypse and Mystique's first appearance in the cartoon was them working together, wasn't it? Or was that her?
Yeah,
and Mr.
that
Sinister?
was The Cure.
Right. So like in the cartoon, isn't it kind of? It's not really like explained, right? But she's kind of like works for him sometimes, right?
Yeah, she's always. That's my main complaint about Mystique in the cartoon is she's always working for someone, whereas in the comics, she's like her own boss bitch. She leads her own teams.
Yeah, that's true. And I like Mystique a lot, and I liked her. Was it the early 2000s when she was part of X Factor? I really liked her as like a reluctant hero. But I think I have a soft spot for her portrayal in the cartoon just because it was like my first exposure to Mystique. So I like her, but yeah, I do get that complaint. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and mine is similar to yours, Kevin. I feel like she would want to go back and change her story with her kids. I'm putting Nightcrawler in there because I think when Nightcrawler forgave her,
I think he got to her a little bit. Yeah,
he got to her, so I think she would want to change her relationship with both Rogue and Nightcrawler.
Nice, so sweet.
All right,
I almost said, what a good mom, but right, she can Nightcrawler off a waterfall.
I did it to save you, honey.
Like, what baby would you think will survive being thrown off a cliff / waterfall?
Yeah, by all means, he shouldn't have.
Maybe he bamfed. No, he couldn't because he'd be too young. He'd be too young. Never mind.
Yeah, he's not a mutant yet.
Yeah.
So the next episode is Beyond Good and Evil, The Lazarus Chamber. What are your thoughts on where this story may be going?
We're going to go in the past to the Egypt, maybe, perhaps. I think we'll probably... I'm still waiting for these horsemen to come, so maybe we'll get the horsemen finally. I don't know.
Maybe.
The Pharaoh. Oh, no.
Cool. So that's it for our episode. But Ian, where can people find and follow you?
You can find me. My personal is at Ian X Carlos on all social media platforms. The podcast I host, Slayerfest 98, which covers Buffy and Marvel, is at Slayerfest X98 on all social media platforms, and we're on all podcasting platforms. And my horror podcast is at My Bloody Judy, that I co-host with one of my best friends, Zachary Patton Garcia, and he also co-hosts Slayerfest with me sometimes. That's at My Bloody Judy on all social media platforms, and we're on all podcasting platforms as well.
Yeah, and you can hear Ian on The Words of the Witches live. Oh yeah. Yeah. And and I've been on some of your bonus stuff, your Patreon stuff.
Well, and you did a couple Marvel episodes with me.
Yeah.
I know you did at least one She-Hulk episode.
She-Hulk, and I did a Thor What If. And
right. Yeah,
that's been fun.
Nice.
And I'll have
Kevin,
to have you guys
you?
on because I'll be covering X-Men the Animated Series for my Patreon.
Yeah.
Yay. Where can people find you, Kevin?
Oh, yeah, I kind of already started that. You can find my personal Instagram at KGZ87. And if you feel like following the other podcast that I do, it's Words of the Witches. We're covering the Charmed comic books right now. Ooh, Sean is helping me finish off season 10. It's getting intense.
Are those comics canon? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, some fans would probably say no, but for all intents and purposes, yes, they are. They continue the series. So
by the time this comes out, we'll probably be done with the comics.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, you can also find me on Marvelous Galaxy of Disney, where we can finally talk about movies and film again, which helps a lot since most of what we talk about is movies and film on that podcast. Or you can find My Magical Journeys, where we can help you get set up on your vacation, Or on Amazon, you can find my book, Witch's Brew, A Dream of Waking. Very vampire, werewolf, witchy, so it fits right in with our listeners.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for listening, Sexy Exes, and we'll see you next week with the Lazarus Chamber. Blah, 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 blah.
Rawr.
Grr. Arg.
Uh.